Ambassador Romanowski, I want to ask you a question quickly. I also have a piece of legislation that's bipartisan that's through the committee and on the floor now to repeal the Iraq war authorizations from 1991 and 2002. I'm not going to ask you about that. Your testimony very plainly points out the many areas where we are working in tandem as partners with Iraq, and I believe the repeal of a war authorization against the government of this partner country would be wise. I want to ask you just one question, though, about Iraq right now. Often as I've visited, the state of relations between the Kurds and the Iraqi central government is sort of up and down and controversial, and sometimes it's more mellow. What is your kind of current understanding of dialogue between Erbil and the Kurdish region of Iraq and the central government?
Thank you for that question, Senator. I share your view that there is often difference of view between the Iraqi Kurdistan regional government and also the government in Iraq. I do think a lot of it depends on the issues. There was recently a ruling regarding their oil sharing. I will say that if I'm confirmed, one of the things and one of the priorities will be to ensure that we can facilitate and we can also represent the interests of both parties should they ask us. So we want to see them as good partners. We want to see them working out their differences. And we want to also be there to promote a good relationship between those two governments. It's critical for Iraq's stability and its prosperity.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Chair recognizes the senator from Maryland.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Congratulations to all of you on your nominations. Ambassador Romanowski, let me follow up where Senator Kaine left off because we've seen a fair amount of political instability created from the lack of formation of a government. How do you assess the current situation, and what is the United States doing now to encourage the formation of a government?
Well, first of all, as a result of the elections, I think we are optimistic that the elections actually created some welcome surprises. For example, you have 30 independent candidates who were elected. It is stalled right now over the interest between certain parties, and I know that we are working hard to, again, try to bring the parties to view the interests of a strong sovereign Iraq to be what is at stake and what is in their interest in forming their government as they go forward. If I am confirmed that keeping that, working with the new government and ensuring that they can work for their people and bring their interest of Iraq to working together as they have different views is going to be very important and a critical component of what I will be doing on a daily basis, if any evidence of what Ambassador Tuller is doing now.
Right. As you indicated in response to Senator Kaine's question, you have the recent decision by the Iraqi Federal Supreme Court regarding Kurdistan's oil laws, deeming them to be unconstitutional. Would you agree that it would be in everyone's interests to have implementation of that ruling stayed so that we can proceed with negotiations on that point, and as we work to try to, they work to try to form a government?
My understanding is that they are talking about what exactly the implementation of that law, but until they have worked out those, my understanding is that things will be going on as as they have been before. But that is correct.
Right. I think the KRG's indicated that they're going to continue to proceed. Do you see the timing of that Supreme Court ruling being part of the efforts to pressure the Kurds and others with regard to the formation of a government?
I think the Iraqi Supreme Court based their decision, from what I understand, on the technicalities of the issue. And I think that's where they came out on that one.
Okay, so you don't see the timing after all these years as being in any way curious or connected to the ongoing effort to form a government?
It does make me pause about that. There are a lot of decisions that come about in that region for the many years I've been working on, and we can read a lot into it. But yeah.
Well, I just, obviously we've got to make sure that we do what we can to support the efforts to form a government. What is your assessment of ISIS's strength right now in Iraq, and whether or not in this period of time where there's some vacuum in the formation of government, they're attempting to exploit the situation?
Well, at this point, we're always very concerned about the resurgence of ISIS. The fact that we have transitioned to an advise, assist, and enable mission that allows us to continue to work with the Iraqi security forces on their fight against ISIS it convinces me and leads me very strongly to believe that while they are forming a government, they will remain, the Iraqi security services will remain vigilant on ISIS.
Right. Again, I think one of the challenges we got is some of the divisions within the country among different groups, and not just the Shia militia, which obviously are a malign influence, but even among other parties. We really need to make sure that we bring people together quickly. Just in closing here, Ambassador.